Alright, I have two V blocks. This is a first year project. These are 1018. The 1018 represents, 10 represents a medium, a plain carbon steel with no other alloys. That's the 1 and the 0. The 1 represents carbon steel, the 0 is no other alloys, and the 18 is 0.18% carbon. Anything from 0.03 to 0.3 is a low carbon plain low carbon steel. So because these are so low in carbon, they have to have carbon added to them. So they've got to be soaked in an oven at 1550 degrees for about 8 hours. That'll give you about 60 thou depth of hardness. The carbon will soak in to that depth. The oven is shut off after 8 hours and it's just left in here to cool. When it's done, they come back out, then the oven is reheated to 1550 and then you heat treat them just like a pair of 4140 blocks. At 1550 they can go in this basket, take them up to red heat, the 10 minutes per inch of thickness, come out and they're oil cooled. They can be watered too. These are small enough they can be oil cooled. If they're thrown in the water, this might pull in a bit because of it's such a more drastic shock to it, and they could warp. But it doesn't matter. If you left enough material to grind out, you can grind it out. As long as you don't take more than 60 thou off and you go through the hardness into soft skin again. So once they're in there, you make sure they're 100% covered. Let that cool down a bit. The heavy box, the heavier you make it, the longer it'll last. Could have a little hole in there, just let some pressure out. Refractory cement can go around here and seal it up, and you take it off and you can put it in the oven. Now I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to take my mic off so I don't melt it down. Put it over here. Imagine. Hang on back here. This is going to be a little warmer. Sometimes 1550 I can put part in and out pretty quickly, but it's a heavy box, so I'm going to suit right up, assuming I'm going to be in there for more than 2 seconds. After 30 or 40 seconds, you'll notice the heat. This gloves and the coat reflected back nicely, but it still starts to soak through the heat. But I have my shop coat on, which is insulating. It's cotton. Always cotton in the machine shop, like spandex and all those man-made materials, they just melt on you. It doesn't matter what you're doing in the shop. The chips from the lathe will melt on it. As soon as you go in there, it'll melt. So cotton is the best. I have a DuPont Nomex if you have the money to buy new expensive shirts and that. So, and the face shield. It's not as bright as 1800 to 2000 and over, but it still is bright enough to get in there. So here we go. You notice the glow in there. Further back, the better. Even though this door has elements in it, just don't bash it into the thermocouples in the back. They bend quite easy at that temperature. And now they just, it stays in there for 8 hours. Soaks into that surface. When they're done, you'll degrease them obviously because they will smoke like crazy if you put them back in. Put them in here, they go in the oven, and like I said in my other courses, this goes in the oven. Once the 1550 is set at the green number, it'll pull the temperature down. Once it gets back up to 1550, you start timing out for 8 hours. When this goes in, you start timing from when it gets up to 1550, and that's 10 minutes per inch of thickness. The best way to tell is when you open this door up and this basket and the parts are glowing the same intensity or the brightness of the background, the fire brick and the elements, then you know you're pretty much at heat. If there's any dark shadows in the part, it's not to heat yet. It's not fully soaked through. If it's not fully soaked through, you will not get you might get a hard part, but the grain structure will not be at 98 or 96 martensite, which is you're going for. So that's it for case hardening steel. Years ago we used to get the case hardening material in by bags. I cannot find anymore, so I was using charcoal, lump charcoal broken up.